the two lovely, beautiful ladies have given very ideological facts about art being romantic and mystic. And man, especially the man in the sari, spoke about Hussein. I am a journalist by profession, and I have seen in the current scenario over the past few years, especially since Carol is now on the censor board, the growing intolerance towards art as such. It does not really seem so mystic and so romantic, because on the ground reality it is something very different. We've had art shows having to be closed and things like that. So what I liked was what Sir has spoken about. And I mean, it's for a very niche market. So how would you plan to address it, being on the censor board and also being a writer of this winter-fall collection about art? Because this is a serious issue which now needs to be addressed. I mean, as India keeps on progressing, I mean, the culture of a society is determined in a large way by the art, by the music, by these forms of expression. And as a journalist, I see increasing intolerance on all sides of the scale. So how would you like to address it?
Anupa, would you like to start this answer, or should I answer and give it to you? Okay. Ma'am, my capacity is very limited, but still I have started my own movement in favor of whatever you have said. I have started writing columns which talks about artists from different disciplines of visual and performing art, and these columns actually bring out the prejudices that they are facing, and they actually talk about the issues that they have gone through. That doesn't need to actually mean the family prejudices. There are also a lot of, it's an all-round thing that it's trying to convey.
About a societal prejudice, a more religious kind of practices which we see largely in society.
See, what I do is, when I talk about these and talk about my personal reaction to this, probably when you read my columns, you travel through whatever I have felt, and that is when I arouse the same emotions within you. That is what I have tried to do with my columns, and that is what I have tried to do even with my book. The sculptor who I have as the protagonist comes from a family of diamond merchants, and he was discarded by the family for following that profession. I mean, from there I take it, and that's a journey that I have tried to show. Now, obviously, my one book won't make a difference, but actually, at least I have just started. Maybe Anupa would be a better person to talk about this.
Well, I just say that what you said was very valid, because today 14 cultural organizations across India have had a member of the BJP come on board, and so censorship has become a very serious issue for all of us. I don't think anybody today, even on social media, has the ability to speak their minds without being trolled. So we live in very, very difficult times. But well, we voted for this, so we are equally responsible. And you're absolutely right, I mean, if we have to do something about it, then collectively as society, we have to come forward. I mean, Hussain Saab was one of our biggest artists, but he died alone, and nobody stood up for him. We couldn't do anything. He was exiled from his own country. His paintings were burnt. But we stood and watched. So I think that the answer is also something that all of us need to look at. What is it that all of us are doing collectively for freedom of speech, So I would just say that what you're saying is very, very important, and it's something we need to all think about, Thank you.
Just one reflection. I'm not a BJP card holding member, but it's not only the BJP.
Okay, sure. Taken. Point taken.
It's not only the BJP.
Point taken. I just said it in terms of fact that 14 heads of cultural organizations have been inducted.
Also,
no problem.
Also, if you were referring to Film Board of Certificate, are you appointed for the Film Board of Certificate? So maybe you're just appointed, no? I have been on the board for more than 2 terms, and let me tell you that you alone cannot do anything. It all depends on the panel members, and more important, it depends on the regional officer, and most important, the chairman's view. We are facing problems there too at the moment. I think rather than get into all that kind of pontification and saying this person is not right and that person is not right, each one has to just do the best and slowly the world will change.
I have a simple point to make. I believe that in any society, in any time, you will find the finest form of art has been created in times of the crisis. There was a playwright called Bertolt Brecht in Germany. He had a lovely poem which says, "Will they be singing in dark times?" And then he says, "Yes, they will be singing of dark times." You'll find that during the Spanish Civil War, when Franco was the dictator and the fascist over there, the best paintings of Picasso came out at that time. Goya's work came out on that time. Neruda's finest poetry came out on that time. And they were all anti-fascists. They were all creating art symbolically, directly or representatively against the authoritarianism, against this idea of what you call a homogeneous idea. Because art is about heterogeneous society, it's about diversity, it's about many opinions, it's about the freedom of spirit and the soul. So each one of those works which was created in the 30s, 40s, remember Hemingway was there. You know, all the greatest artists and the painters and writers converged in Spain, in Mexico during times of fascism. And the finest paintings of Frida Kahlo came around that time. All the greatest art, you just look around the world, the best art came out in the time of crisis. So I believe that actually prompts the artist to come out with the expression which is that much more vital and viable than in times of peace and all around, myopia. Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes, please.
I completely disagree to the fact that the society is not accepting things. We are much open to things, we are much liberal. I'm from a creative field. I see much liberalization of acceptance of any kind. Yes, there is prohibition, there is ban, there is controversies, but they are just by those people who are up on the pyramid and don't want the roots of their old thoughts to be shaken. The kind of revolution we recently saw, while people stand for each other, either for the corruption, which was a huge landscape we saw, or the LGBT rights, or the women stand. So I think the society is giving it. We all just need to do one-on-one, and we just need to go for it. We should not stop creating our efforts for the sake of it that it might get banned. The idea itself is not great to create any respect to it. That's what I think.
Any more questions from anyone? Okay, thank you. I think that was a very enriching session indeed. Thank you so much. So I guess it's time to unveil the book. May I please request our esteemed guest and of course Mr. Vikash Neogi and of course Gaura's husband and an acclaimed author himself, Tuhine Sinha. As they say, behind every successful woman there's a man. So please. Just now. Just now. Actually fresh.
Because just come and join us.
No, Ravi.
Come here, we are waiting.
I'd like to mention Ravi, welcome Ravi Subramaniam, another very acclaimed author. So Ravi, please join us in unveiling the book. Come, Ravi.
You and Ravi take one book. You three. And you can't unveil.
I'll share with you.
Yeah, please.